Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to do a, I guess, fairly quick review on D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die on the Xbox One. If you don't know what it is, it's an Xbox One exclusive made by Swery65, who is a Japanese creator. He also did Lords of Arcana, I think Lords of the Apocalypse, if I remember correctly, which is the sequel. I forget which order they go in. I think Arcana was first. Don't quote me on that. He also did parts of, not parts, excuse me, he did all of Deadly Premonition on the Xbox 360 and the PS3. It's a great, quirky, weird, survival horror, Twin Peaks type game. So, one of my favorite games. So, I was looking forward to D4. I'm just going to call it D4 from now on, not the full title. I was looking forward to D4 when I first heard about it. I'm not huge into that like cell shaded look, but it's still a pretty looking game considering that I don't really like cell shaded type stuff. I saw a couple like previews and stuff. The reviews weren't so great, but they were decent. It's an episodic downloadable game, which is not my thing at all, but it just went free in January of 2015 for Xbox One games with gold. If you're a gold member, you should be able to download it, I think, the whole month for free. And there's 3 episodes to start, and I'm assuming if it does well enough, but I don't think it has, they'll hopefully release more. It's really hard to describe what kind of game it is. The main gist of it is you're a detective who used to be on the Boston Police Department force, and you're now a private eye, like a private detective, and you're trying to find out who murdered your wife. You have a bullet in your head still that throbs sometimes, and your nose bleeds on occasion. And I'm sure that ties into certain aspects of the game where maybe you're getting close to the murderer or something like that. But it's very, very vague. It also is very quirky and weird, just like Deadly Premonition. There are some slight nods to Deadly Premonition, without me kind of... It's not really a spoiler since this character pops up at the very beginning, but one of the main characters from Deadly Premonition, FK in the Coffee. If you played that game, you'll know what I'm talking about. He is a main guy in D4. The other funny thing, just to segue backwards for a moment, is D4, you know, the guy who made the D series, he's Kenji Ino. He's gone now. He passed away, I think, last year. He did D, Enemy Zero, and D2. So those are 3 titles in the D series. They thought, initially people were confusing this and saying D4 was a continuation of that game. It's nothing to do with it at all. So I just thought that was kind of interesting that these 2 creators I really like sort of had similar names in a sense, but, you know, game names, not personal names. So the game's cell shaded, as I said. It's a pretty good looking game. It uses the Kinect primarily. You can switch over to the controller, but I find the controller to be cumbersome in regards to playing this game. Also, the Kinect works really, really well with this game. I don't know if it's just the coding on the game or what. I think it was a launch title. Oh no, it wasn't a launch title, I'm sorry. It was supposed to be a launch title. They pushed it back, pushed it back. It eventually came out, it got bad reviews, so I never really picked it up, and I don't like I said, episodic or downloadable titles. If they would have created it on disc, like all the episodes eventually, I'd probably buy it. It's really hard to explain. It reminds me of a Sega CD game, or a 3DO game, or a certain Saturn FMV or PC FMV titles. It's you using the Kinect to make motions on the screen. I have a video coming up in a week that shows little clips of me playing the game, my bite-sized gaming series, and you'll see what I mean. You move your hand around the screen, you can grab things when it tells you to, you have to move in certain ways when it tells you to, and you do certain actions. Like, there's one point where the guy, I guess, is an alcoholic or something, so you go like this and he'll take the drink, and then you go like this and you smash the shot glass down on the table, or you open doors by going like this when it tells you to. You can also go like this and put both hands up and go back to the main menu, or you could like cancel things by putting your hand out like a stop sign, like the other hand in the air or some crap. You could put your hand on your head like this if you're having a problem figuring out what to do next, and it's called Vision, and the screen turns black, and anything you have to do next turns yellow. You can only do it so many times. It's like a hint system, but I've used it a bunch of times just to, you know, screw around, but I never really needed it. The game is pretty easy, I would say. you know, if you're not good with the motion controls, it might take a little while. I do like that they implemented a controller aspect as well, so if you don't really feel like jumping around, because I gotta tell you, I train, and this still makes me tired. I guess because it's like weird, like short range, repetitive motions over and over. But it's really cool in a sense. Like I said, the story is good because you are trying to find out this, like unravel this mystery, but it's also very weird. But I guess if you play Deadly Premonition or you know who Swery65 is, you've expected that. Lots of quirky characters, lots of really funny American stereotypes. There's this guy who's, I guess, like a gay fashion designer. It's completely over the top and crazy. He hangs out with a mannequin. He thinks the mannequin's alive. One of your main powers in the game, or the main power you have, is you're able to go into your bathroom, and in real life you have to put your hand over your eyes and it registers and it jumps you through time. So you're able to dive back and forth into time. Only certain things though, you know, it's very limited. And you go to these different places on different times and you can, you know, solve this mystery or get clues. But all the while you're trying to solve this big overarching story of who murdered your wife, there's little mysteries and little weird characters you interact with and solve cases for them. There's also mini games. So there's like a trivia mini game where you have to answer questions related to like planes. I looked up the answers online because it would have taken me forever otherwise. There's one with this weird giant, he's a literally like a giant black guy with a face mask, like a dental mask. He looks like a doctor or whatever, and he's like clanging utensils like spoons and forks, and he speaks really slow. And it's like something so strange. It completely reminds me of like the giant in Twin Peaks with the weird voices and stuff. It's a very weird game, but one of the mini games you play with him, and you can play them to like beat them, because you do have to beat them to progress, or you can then go back and do like high score challenges. Is there's shamrocks coming out of the sky that are, I feel so weird saying this even, that are supposed to represent your dead wife's memories, and you're supposed to move your hand around and collect them, but if you hit certain things that are bad, it'll shock you and freeze the motion, or like do different little special things. So it's a lot of weird like mini games. Well, not many. The Shamrock one, that one. There's a few others like time-based ones, but for the most part, you're like interacting by like grabbing people and talking to them, pushing things out of the way, finding clues, and then there's like a lot of collecting. You can collect scrapbook things. You can drink a lot and get an achievement. You can open all these fortune cookies and get achievements. There's outfits you can change into, and each outfit gives you different attributes, like more health. There's like 3 categories. There's stamina, which is it uses it every time you make a motion. There's health, which every time you get hit when you're in a fight, it goes down. And then there's vision, which is the thing where I said you hold your hands on your head and you're able to see what to do next, like a hint system. To recoup your stamina and health and stuff and vision, you like can drink, you can eat, there's certain things you can do in the game that regenerate. And if you're about to pass out from like lack of stamina or lack of whatever, it tells you where the things are to recoup. It always seems like there's something more to do though, like little intricate things you can push or grab, or it sort of reminds me of like an FMV game from Sega CD in terms of the interaction being sort of limited, but it's also very interactive because you're using your hand and motion controls. It sort of reminds me in the sense of like Shenmue, in where you can kind of open and touch everything. It's not everything, but it is a lot of stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The game was sort of what I expected, except I expected more of a, I guess, complete or straightforward story, though I'm not sure why I was thinking that considering the other titles Swery65 has created. It's only 3 episodes. The ending is left open-ended, obviously, because they were going to do, I think, a lot more. They may not now. It's free, like I said, this month for Games with Gold members. I would definitely recommend getting it if you have Xbox Live Gold, a Gold account. You know, it's not going to be an action-paced game. There are fight scenes where you have to like move your hands in quick motions or punch or push, and it works really well. I think once I had a problem where I was trying to catch a ball that was falling out of a window, and I kept putting my hand out and grabbing. I think I wasn't closing my hand to grab the ball, I was just moving my arm, so it wasn't registering. So that might have been my fault, but I was very impressed in terms of how the Kinect works with this game. And like I said, if you don't have the Kinect, because I know some people bought one without one now, you can use the controller. If you like weird games, adventure games, motion games, It's not scary, but it's definitely intriguing and weird. If you like Twin Peaks or Deadly Premonition, then I think it would be up your alley. It's about a 4 to 5 hour game, about 4 hours. If you go back and collect everything and buy everything and keep picking up all the credits and going through the episodes over and over to get more credits, and then, you know, every time you do things you get credits, which you can then buy clothing with and change your outfits. There are some downloadable outfits from Spy Fiction and Gears of War and something else I can't remember off the top of my head. So that's cool. You can use the outfits, and like I said, your attributes change. Your vision goes up, or your strength, you know, your stamina goes up or down, depending on which outfit and what mustache you have. My guy has a little Charlie Chaplin Hitler mustache, just because it looks stupid. And it's just a pretty cool game. You know, I mean, it definitely. I had gotten tattooed this weekend, so I kind of just took it easy for a few days and played games and watched movies. Didn't want to go out too much, and it fit the time perfectly. So I look forward to more episodes of the game. If I had to be like give it some kind of arbitrary grade or whatever out of a 10, I would give it a 7, 7.5. I liked it. I'd recommend it. It's definitely a niche title. If you don't like these types of games, it's gonna put most people off. You have to be in a very weird subcategory of gamers, I would say, to really like this type of title. It's probably for more of an adult than a child. It's not, like I said, very action oriented. There's no like shooting or anything like that going on. But definitely check out D4 and trying to think if there's anything else interesting. It's kind of dark. There's some cursing in it. That's about it. You know, there were certain things that like I'd do things and I'd go, holy shit, I didn't realize that you could do this, or I didn't realize this could happen. And like I always seem to find more stuff to interact with and more to do. So it was cool. I played through it twice because the achievement system, here we go, this is what I wanted to say. The achievement system glitched out on me because if you switched from the Kinect to the controller halfway through the game, it can glitch out. Or if you don't quit completely out of the game, it can glitch out. So I had to go back and get my achievements, but oh well. Thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.